Imagine the destruction done in just the first few months of what's happening in Gaza, what Israel's doing to Gaza, compared to what like Russia's done to Ukraine in the last like 2 years. It is uncomparable. The level of destruction of Gaza, it's not there anymore. They're living in tents on what used to be their home, just on top of the rubble. And if you look at like Kiev and what it looks like now, you look at Gaza and what it looks like now, one looks like Disneyland, the other one looks like pure destruction, subhanAllah. And 7 months of this unrelentless bombing, it's not just bombing, it's an intentional starvation. It's an intentional seclusion from the world. They're no strangers to being secluded from the world. They have been for the last like 17 years. You know, they've been under these this annexation, this illegal occupation in that concentration camp for like 17 long years. But now it's reached a level where it's so obvious that Israel wants to do it on purpose. They really just want to bring about their destruction and hasten it. Alhamdulillah, what's very poetic about it is that they're really just hastening their own destruction. They're really just hastening that literally the entire world, that's no metaphor, the entire world standing against them.
Yeah, it's becoming the pariah state. You know, outside of the US and Canada, like it's completely lost any type of support. And inside in the US and Canada, the people themselves are starting to break through the suppression. No, Israel is becoming the pariah state that it should have been a long time ago. You know, when you mentioned the ICC warrant, I thought it was really telling when Lindsey Graham said, if we let this happen in Israel, we're next. Yeah, you're a war criminal too. You know, you should be next. Biden should have an arrest warrant on him.
Absolutely.
Every US president should have an arrest warrant on them. You know, Bush should have been in The Hague a long time ago. You know, Obama droned people. Trump, you know, droned and destroyed. They all deserve to be in The Hague, right? So yeah, this regime should be held accountable. Not to say that the ICC is flawless. It's absolutely not. It was set up as a court to carry out largely Western international goals, not actually hold them accountable. But you know, like you're talking about, like the prosecutor being threatened, like Netanyahu's like he's the one who should be worried about traveling. Like who talks like that? Who talks like that, right? Like he's the one that should be worried about traveling. Like who's been given the type of arrogance, right? Who's been fed so much of his own nonsense, to use clean language? Who believes that? Like who can say that? Can you imagine an Arab leader like saying that on TV? No. Like, you know, a Muslim leader, like, you know, the ICC prosecutor should worry about himself traveling. Like, you would never imagine that, right? Like, it just shows you to what extent these people think that they're unaccountable. And we forget that there's a Fir'aun, but there's also a Haman. You can decide which one's the U.S. and which one's Israel, right? But there's always, you got the minister and you got the main criminal. And what did he say? He said that like he was warned, like the ICC's been set up for Africa. It's traditionally been used to just prosecute Africans. Great. You know, like, oh, that's what it was for. You know, he just came out and said it. We know that on the day of judgment, justice will be served. And our goal is to do as much of that serving of justice within the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as possible here, and to, you know, to be upholding of justice as Allah Azza wa Jal has commanded us to be, to uphold it in our own lives and to uphold it for others. If they escape the court of this dunya, they won't escape the court of the day of judgment. Alhamdulillah. And that gives me content. Like, I can't wait to see these people on the day of judgment squirming as their victims come to prosecute them. I mean, Allah let us be on the side of the victims and not beyond our knowledge on the side of the oppressors. So I can't wait to see the way these people get treated on the day of judgment for what they've done to our people.
Absolutely, absolutely. May Allah forgive us. These are just things that we see happening. We don't know everything that they've done.